Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Lauren, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the recording of the live question and answer session that I did over on the Instagram platform on Monday the 26th of June 2023. So I'll be answering lots of your sewing and dressmaking questions that you have sent to me, asking for some tips and advice, and then I've got loads of really lovely fabrics out from around the shop to give you some inspiring pattern and fabric combinations that you've been requesting as well. We do also have some new fabrics, so I'm going to be showing you them tonight as well. And you'll see me just answer any questions and read the comments that are coming in live as well, just so you've got a bit of context about what's going on. But if you are watching here on YouTube and you would like to contribute, or you want to ask a question for me to cover in a future session, then do just leave a comment below and then I can add it to my list for next week. So I'm going to switch over to the live recording now. I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you very soon. So I hope you're all having a lovely evening and that you've had a good weekend and you're ready for some fun chat about fabric and sewing. I'm not going to promise an hour tonight because my voice is actually still unbelievably not totally great. It started to go a little bit in the live last Monday, and it progressively, is that a word? Got worse all week. And then I was feeling pretty groggy over the weekend and not really able to talk that well. But I still wanted to come and chat to you guys because I thought I'd miss you if I didn't come. And I've got loads of really nice questions to answer as well. So I'm here, but yeah, I brought over some hot lemon and ginger and honey tea I made. To have that, so hopefully my voice is going to hold out, but it does sound very croaky, so apologies if that's sounding a little bit annoying for you. So I do have some nice new fabrics to show you this weekend because we're a little bit back on track with getting new things online, and there'll also be more going online later this week as well, because that delivery that I mentioned last week of the really lovely X designer fabric has arrived. It came today, so over the next couple of days we'll be able to get that online as well, so do check that out later in the week. And then my plan is also to make a new fabrics video to cover the whole month of June, which will be on my YouTube channel later in the week as well, so you can have a look at that too. But yeah, I do have some nice new things to show you tonight. And thank you for joining everybody, wherever you all are in the world, in the UK. So I have got a few nice cotton lawns to show you. They are all Dashwood ones, so that's like a sort of designer, like a design house here in the UK. So they're all 100% cotton. They're cotton lawns. They're nice and lightweight, very crisp, really easy to work with as well. So this is the first one here, and it is the Dashwood Studio Bahar White Ace Cotton Lawn fabric. So it's quite sort of small scale, quite detailed print, lots of blue tones in that one. And then the next one is two of the same colourway, so we've got it in the sort of off-white creamy colourway and then in a nice navy colourway as well. There's lots of details in this one, which is really pretty. It's the Parisa White Ace Cotton Lawn. So there's like little birds, there's really detailed flowers in it, and sort of some vines, almost like a little bit of, I was going to say paisley-esque, but I don't know, that's maybe a bit too much. What was it? I saw these sort of like little kind of leaf motifs here. Anyway, it's really nice and would be lovely for little summer tops and blouses and stuff because it's so lightweight, so crisp and easy. So what did I miss here? Currently in holiday in Portugal. That sounds nice. It's 35 degrees still. Well, that is hot. I mean, I don't know how hot it is in the shop right now, but let me tell you, I am hot. Hi Lauren and everybody from sunny North Oxfordshire. Sorry to hear you're not well, thank you. Planning another visit during Festival of Quilts, that's exciting. Yes, we're not too far from the NEC if you're coming to Festival of Quilts. If you were coming by public transport, you'd have to go into the city centre and then back out again. But if you're driving by car, it's maybe about half an hour, depending on the traffic. First time listening live, welcome. I hope you have fun listening live. So yeah, that's the 3 cotton lawns. Then I've got a couple of colourways of this one, which is really lovely and would be gorgeous for nice summer dresses. This is the blue textured woven striped cotton fabric, so it also comes in a sort of like pinky reddy one as well. So it's almost like the stripes got a bit of a seersucker texture to it, and then these blue ones are kind of woven in, so it's really nice. It'd be nice if you were sort of changing direction. So somebody was asking about fabrics for the new Sew Over It Sofia pattern, and I think that would be nice, because it's got sort of different panels, and you can one of their samples is made in a stripe, so then you can kind of see how you can sort of change the direction of the stripes. That'd be nice for that one. And then we've also had a couple of new colourways of this gorgeous large scale gingham check. So we did have this in the navy and the pink, which is on the way, but it's just not available unfortunately till the end of summer. But we do have these 2 new colours. This is the caramel yarn dyed check linen viscose. It's 55 linen, 45 viscose. It's $15.90 a metre. So this is the same fabric that I made my fibre mood quilla top in, which I know a lot of you have seen and liked as well. So it's the same fabric, just another colourway. So yeah, the caramel colourway, and then the roll's really heavy, so I won't pull it out, but it's basically like a black and white one, monochrome we've called it. So yeah, there's those ones as well. And then what else am I missing here? Would the woven striped fabric be okay for trousers? I think it's a bit light. I think they would feel quite pyjama-y if you made trousers out of that. Hello from Crete. Is everybody on holiday right now? This is great, guys. Have a fabulous time on holiday, and we hoped we would get back from our meal to watch live. That's so nice. You guys, you're taking me on holiday with you. I've used my fabulous Luskin tire bag all week. Well, that is just makes my heart sing. That's what I made it for. That is great news. Okay, so the other ones are a couple of viscose prints, which are really nice. This one is gorgeous, sort of purpley pinky tones. It's a plain weave viscose. It's got quite sort of smooth finish to it. These will be in the just arrived section. It's the trailing florals viscose fabric. It's $16.80 a metre, and yeah, it's just a really lovely design. I think quite a lot of people are making wedding outfits at the moment. I think that would be quite nice for a wedding. Yep, on holiday in the UK from Brisbane. So somebody's on holiday here. Somebody else is in Cyprus. You're really international tonight. Would you need to line a skirt in the large check linen viscose? I think it would be okay. I mean, I made my top in it, and I don't think it's sheer. I don't think you can see through it at all. Okay, and then the other viscose that I've got, I was actually just having a proper feel of it, and it's actually got, I think it's got a bit of a sateen finish to it. So it is 100% viscose, but when you feel it, it almost feels a bit satiny. It doesn't really feel like just a regular plain weave viscose, so I'm going to make sure that that is in the listing, that Hannah adds that if it's not in already. This one is the Artist Garden viscose fabric, and it's really nice. It's on a sort of like, I would say white, maybe vaguely off-white base, and then just loads of really beautiful kind of painterly sort of colours in it. It's very summery as well. So yeah, another one for like a really lovely dress or a nice skirt or something. I think that's gorgeous. On my sofa with the cat in sunny York. I mean, that sounds very relaxing as well as the holiday in Portugal and in Crete. Ellen, you get to watch live again after being in Hong Kong. Yay. Okay, I'm going to try and put that somewhere. It's not really wrapping around again just now. And then the other new fabric that we've had, because somebody asked me about this a few weeks ago, and then I totally forgot that we'd ordered it and that it was coming in. Somebody was asking for jersey that is 100% cotton, so they wanted jersey that didn't have elastane in it, and we've got it. I completely forgot that we'd ordered it. So we've got 4 colourways. There's three colourways. I think we just got sort of like classic colours, black, navy and white. But I think it does come in other colourways. So if it's popular, we can get it in other colourways. So we've called it the cotton interlock jersey fabric, and it is 100% cotton, but it's classed as a jersey. It would be classed as a stretchy fabric. So it does have quite a good weight to it. It is, it's pretty thick. Sorry, the bolt's really heavy, so I'm struggling to kind of hold it up. But hopefully you can sort of see that. It's almost like it's double-sided, so quite often just regular jersey, like cotton jersey, would have a right and a wrong side, whereas this one just looks the same on both sides basically. So the stretch is just coming from the way that it's been knitted basically, as opposed to the stretch coming from the stretchy fibre that's part of the fabric. So it does still stretch, but it won't have the same sort of recovery, as in it won't bounce back again into shape. So it does mean that it will sort of like bag out a little bit more, which is, you know, is obviously fine. If if you're making something that's kind of a bit more oversized or a bit looser anyway, then it's not really going to matter. But is it closer to sweatshirt weight? No, it is definitely, I would say it's like a thicker t-shirt weight. That's sort of how I would describe it. So yeah, that's, but yeah, so we've got that. As I said, it's in the white, and then we've also got black and navy as well. So yeah, give it a try. And I'm sorry that I don't know who you are now, but if you ask me about the jersey without elasting in it, we do now have it. And then the other thing that I've got to show you, which is a new colourway of what was a really popular fabric before. Sorry, this boat weighs a ton as well. I must have lost some of my strength in my illness. This is the pale periwinkle bamboo French terry jersey fabric. So it's 95 bamboo and 5% elastane. So this is the fabric that we had in our Helen's Closet Dawson t-shirt kits in February, which were really popular. It's such a beautiful fabric. It honestly feels so soft. Bamboo's really nice to wear. It's very wicking, nice and stretchy. And we've just added another colourway in it as well. So I would say this is more like a thicker kind of t-shirt weight, this one. So it's looped back, so it's got the loops on the back. And then it just feels really nice and smooth and soft from the front side. So yeah, that is also now in stock as well. And it looks like we've got quite a bright blue cobalt colour as well, and then we've just restocked on the other colours that we had. We had a grey, a navy, a black and a pink. So some nice colour choices there. Okay, somebody's asking which pattern did you use for your dress? Thank you. It's the Closet Core Elodie, and it's the sort of longer sleeve version. So yeah, that's just all kind of grown on like one bit because it's in a nice lightweight viscose that, yeah, just sort of hangs nicely. Would you use the 100% cotton jersey as you would for a jersey which had elastane in it, such as the usual t-shirt patterns? Yeah, I need to just check actually how much percentage stretch it's got. It's probably not got, it depends on how fitted it is, how much negative ease it's got, because your pattern will tell you how much percentage of stretch that it has to have, and that refers to the physical amount of stretch, not the percentage of stretchy fibre. So physically when you stretch it, how much percentage stretch it's got. And if it's a garment that's very fitted, it'll need to have a higher percentage of stretch, maybe like 20%. It should be on the listing. I haven't checked and I've not measured it there, but I would say compared to some of the other jerseys, it doesn't have as much stretch. So, but if it's like a looser style or it's not fitted, then yeah, the regular t-shirt patterns would be fine. The Elodie looks great at the bust, not too revealing. Yeah, the wrap's pretty good. I didn't change it. This is just the way that the pattern is. It's not altered at all. Okay, did you wash your fabric for the Lusk entire bag? No, I was lazy and I didn't wash it. It holds everything, including the kitchen sink. Yes. Yeah, you don't need to wash the fabric for the Lusk entire bag. And actually, if you've got the kit or the pattern, then you've got access to the video as well. And I talk quite a bit about pre-washing in that as well. So you can always skip to that section. If you look in the description to the video, it tells you all the timestamp chapters of what I talk about at different times. You can see the timing when I talk about pre-washing. So if you're wondering about that and you've got the pattern or the kit, you can check that out there. Okay, so I'm going to get on to the questions that were sent in beforehand now and try and get through all of them before my voice completely croaks. So somebody was asking, I'm using crepe fabric and I can't get the fusible interfacing to stick. Are there any other options? So the question didn't say what type of crepe fabric it is. I'm presuming that it's polyester. I don't know why, I just have that feeling. In which case it might be that maybe you can't have the temperature of your iron up high enough to melt the glue on the interfacing to get it to stick, because if you had the temperature up too high and you're using polyester, it might melt polyester because polyester is plastic. So yeah, that potentially could be an issue. I mean, you could try it on a scrap, like make sure your iron is hot enough and you use a pressing cloth, and that can help to protect the fabric as well. But if you're still not managing to get it to stick, and you do need to sort of interface or kind of stabilize certain parts of the garment. Obviously I don't know what you're making just from the question, but you could just interface it with effectively like sew-in interfacing, where you just kind of baste it in the seam allowances. So you're just sort of basically attaching a backing fabric to it that will just then baste them together within the seam allowances, so that then that just becomes like one layer of fabric, and that would help to stabilize it. So you could try that as well. Oh, somebody's passing by. Hi. Can't see you, but hi. Okay, so the next question, what I meant to print this picture out to show you, and sorry I've not had time today. Can you help with the pattern layout as I'm confused? So somebody sent a pattern layout where basically, I wonder if I could just quickly draw it actually. It's like kind of like, so normally in a cutting layout, we'll either show like a single layer, so it's like the fabric's totally flat, shows you where to put your pattern pieces on, or it'll show you where you fold the fabric in half, selvage together, and create a fold, and then lay your pieces out like that. But then what this one showed was basically like, this was a selvage, this was a selvage, this is a fold in the fabric, and this is the cut lengths of the fabric. So this was what the diagram of the picture that the lady sent. So basically what was happening was that there was pieces here, so there was like you know, like whatever it was, like a bodice piece here, like this is my little bodice, and then there was another piece here that was basically going like that. So say that was like some kind of very wide sleeve that was here, and it was kind of overlapping that line. So basically what it's telling you to do is that this bit is cut in the single layer, and because you're not using all of that bit of fabric, you're kind of stealing a bit of fabric underneath there, and then obviously you don't need that tiny section on the top. So it's basically just like a split cutting layout where some of the pieces are cut on the fold and some of them are cut out in the single layer. Just remember, if you're ever cutting out in the single layer, you have to flip your pattern pieces over so you get a left and a right side. So I hope that helps to explain it. Okay, somebody live is asking, is it necessary to use the seam tape like the Elodie kit if making the dress in a cotton or linen? I mean, I would say it's good to do it anyway, because when you're cutting something that's like effectively that neckline edge there is kind of on the bias, it is just really susceptible to stretching, so it's just going to help to make the neckline sit neater and flatter and more supportive if you do put it in. So ideally I think it is good if you can. Okay, the next one was, even after pre-washing, do you find that viscose shrinks even on a 30 wash? Should I wash it cold? So I haven't found that viscose shrinks again after washing. It has happened when I've like accidentally tumble dried something, which is like, I hate when I do that, it's really annoying, but it can shrink then when you tumble dry it. But if you're just always air drying it, I haven't found that it does. But what I was thinking could potentially be happening is, depending on the weave of the viscose, it might be that the fabric is contracting as you wash it, and then if it's not like really getting ironed out, you're feeling like it's smaller. So for example, with viscose crepe, which is quite textured, it tends to sort of contract and kind of just all the fibres just sort of get closer together when you wash it. And then when you iron it with a really hot steamy iron, like say before you come to cut it out, if you give it like a really good iron and it gets really flat, and then you cut it out, you make your garment and you wash it again, it's going to do the same thing. Like all of those fibres are going to just kind of contract and come together, and then they won't relax fully out unless they have like a really good hot steamy iron again. So it could be potentially, I don't know, maybe that you're feeling like it's shrinking, but maybe it just needs a really good iron. I don't know the full context of the question, but that was just something that came to mind when I read that. Okay, somebody's asking live, when you fold your fabric, should you have the right or wrong sides together? So if you're making something that's symmetrical, a garment that's symmetrical, it literally doesn't matter, because you're going to end up with exactly the same thing, whether it's the outside, the right side or the wrong side of the fabric facing out. I tend to do it with the right side of the fabric facing me, because I work with patterns and prints a lot, and I like to be able to see what part of the pattern or print is going to be on my garment as I'm cutting it out. And obviously you can't see that as clearly if the wrong side's facing out. What is the size of the checks on the linen viscose fabric? good question. Have I got my meter stick nearby to measure it? I don't think so. I mean, I would say that's maybe like 6 centimeters-ish. Yeah. Hopefully seeing it in the context of my face might also give an idea as well. Okay, the next question is, any tips on sewing with double gauze? I've got loads of tips. It's not as hard as you would think. I think a lot of people overthink double gauze. I do actually have a whole video and a blog post that's dedicated to double gauze on the website. So if you go to the website and you search double gauze and you go to the blog search results, you'll see my blog post, and it talks about everything from like washing it, ironing it, pressing it, sewing it, what to make with it, everything. So it's a really good place to look if you are wanting to work with double gauze. Okay, the next question is, I'm desperate to start sewing. I have no equipment. Tips on a starter set and what to sew with. So I would say if you're like really serious about sewing and you think you're really going to get into it, and you know you want to invest in some tools and equipment, I would say try to go for like better quality branded stuff, which is more expensive but it will last you longer. The Prim brand is really good. That's the haberdashery we stock. Anything Clover of the Clover brand is also excellent quality. It will last a long time. It'll be really good. I think if you go for cheap and cheerful, you probably find that the quality's not that great. You know, the pins might not be as sharp. They might snag your fabric. Scissors won't be as sharp. They'll just run out. They'll blunt quicker. So I would say a really good pair of dressmaking fabric scissors is essential. A tape measure that's got inches and centimetres on it. Really nice sharp pins is very good. And then also some kind of like marking tool. There's lots of different ones that you could get. I would probably say a good all-rounder one are the Clover Chacopel pencils that come with a little sharpener. They're not too waxy. They're good for doing dots and that sort of thing, but you can sharpen them and they do really nice straight lines as well. So I would say that's like the bare minimum. But yeah, try to, if you can, try to get like better quality ones, because you'll just find that they last longer. If you get poorer quality ones, you'll just find that you have to rebuy it more regularly, so then it's potentially more expensive in the long run. Somebody's saying, I love sewing with double gauze, it's very forgiving. I know, I really like it as well. I love the material on the dress you're wearing. Thank you. This was our Chica Cheetah print that was we had last year. It was in a kit from last year, so unfortunately we don't have any more, but thank you. Okay, the next one was tips on widening the sleeves in the Kelly anorak. I've made one, but the sleeves are a bit neat. I found this as well. The sleeves in the Kelly anorak do come up pretty fitted. What I would suggest you do, if you've already made it, there's probably not a huge amount that you can do, to be honest, but if you're going to make it again, I would suggest that the simplest way potentially is just like sizing up on the arm. So when you come to cut out the armhole, just size up, and then if you size up in the sleeve and you've sized up on that curve of the armhole there, then obviously the next size up sleeve will fit in as well. So that could be a nice way to do it, a nice easy way to do it. Somebody's suggesting an unpicker as well. Yeah, true. Does anyone know, is there a big difference in the trousers between the saguaro one and the new Tilly and the Button Esty, except the pockets? I haven't made the new Tilly and the Buttons Esty ones, so I'm not totally sure what the technical difference is. I mean, I guess on the face of it, both quite similar. Elasticated waist, quite wide leg trousers. Okay, the next question was, I'm using the quilted double gauze for the Amelia bomber. Should I use interfacing or skip these steps? So this is like bomber jacket, it's got a zip. Thinking about it, I feel like maybe where the zip goes, I probably would interface it, just because double gauze is quite a loose weave fabric, and even though you're using the quilted one, I feel like if you interface, it will just help to stabilize where that zip is even more and prevent any of the, you know, the threads that have woven the double gauze just sort of coming loose over time. So I would probably say yes to that. Excuse me. Okay. The next question is, can you show your two Dony tops please and the lining and give some feedback on the results? I did prefer the left one. Is that with a camisole? I actually liked it better because the facing wasn't so visible, but why would that be a case with just the top underneath? So the reel that I did that was about the two Dony tops, sorry, I'm like starting to really lose my voice. Excuse me. as it was actually the same top. I didn't make two, I just filmed them separately. And one of them I am wearing a camisole underneath. And really it just, when you wear something underneath, then obviously the light just shines through differently and then it looks more solid. But I suppose the point that I was making was that that fabric that I used does look quite sheer. Like when you hold it in your hand, you think, God, it looks quite sheer. Excuse me. Sorry about that, everyone. It does look quite sheer, but then actually when you make it and you've got it on just with underwear on, it's not as sheer as what you would think, because obviously light is not shining through your body. So then just your body being behind it makes, you know, stops looking quite see-through. And then yeah, with the white camisole underneath, obviously it just sort of makes it a little bit more solid looking. I meant to bring it over, I'm sorry I didn't, but yeah, the secret is it's not two separate tops. I did literally just put a little camisole underneath. Okay, the next question was, I have the Pattern Fantastique Phen shirt and I have made it as the pattern, but I'm wondering if it could be hacked to be less round at the side seams. So this is a shirt pattern and it's got it's quite wide in the arm, and then it literally comes, it's almost like a big wide dinner plate, and it comes really curved in so it's like this, and then it comes really curved in, and then it sort of goes a little bit straighter. So I guess what you're wanting to do is like just straighten that out basically, so rather than it curved in and coming straight down. The only the only thing I would watch out for in that is that there's a dart at the bust, and it's going into the side seam there. So if you did straighten off the side seam from where the arm is, you would have to sort of just be elongating that dart a little bit more. So that would be the only thing, but I feel like it would be worth a try, because it's quite oversized anyway. So then it's not like, you know, you've got to do like really technical adaptations to make it really fit, because it's still going to be oversized if you just have it straight down. So I'll give it a go. Okay, somebody's saying I would recommend Kai shears. I have left-handed shears for over 15 to 20 years. Weren't cheap when I bought them then, but they have paid for themselves over and over. Oh dear, I have been suffering asthma. I'm sorry to hear that. I know, I'm sorry about all that coughing. Hopefully I'll be okay again for a bit. Actually, somebody was asking about, that is the next question. That was very good timing. I'm looking for left-handed scissors, a recommendation for fabric cutting. So yeah, the Kai shears are good left-handed ones. Do you still have the Dony shirt material you used with the scalloped edges? We do, because I saw a bowl of it today. Yes, we do. I can see it on the shelf beside me. Any suggestions for a pattern for a one-sleeved shouldered top? Struggling to find one. Can you send me a DM with that message, with that question, and I'll look into it, and then I'll add it to my list for next week, because I don't know any off the top of my head. The Phen shirt question was mine. Thanks for your input. No probs. I'll let you know how it goes. Please do. Okay, the next one is, could I use snaps instead of buttons on the fringe dress, and what's the difference between the metal and the plastic ones? Yeah, you could use snaps instead of buttons. What the other thing that might be worth trying to do is see if you can actually just take it on and off without doing the buttons, because the fringe dress does have a V-neck that's quite wide, and it might be actually you can take it on and off without having to undo those buttons, in which case if you didn't want to do the buttonholes and buttons, you could just sew buttons on and sew it closed, and then it just sort of look like buttons and buttonholes, but it wouldn't be. But if you did want to have it actually functioning and opening, then yeah, you could put the snaps on. The difference between the plastic ones and the metal ones are, I think the anorak snaps are too heavy. I wouldn't put that on it. If there were metal ones, then I would suggest that you actually use the ones that are called jersey snaps, and the difference is just the way that they clamp onto the fabric. So the plastic ones just have like one spoke that goes through the fabric, whereas the jersey ones have like, I think it's either like 4 or 5 little spokes that grip the fabric, and that's just because jersey stretches, so it has to grip on in more than one place really. But for more detailed explanation, I do have a video that is all about using the Prim Vario pliers, and in that one I go into quite a lot of depth between all the different fastenings that are compatible with it. So you could always have a look at that as well. I just sewed my buttons on the fringe and I didn't do buttonholes, and it goes over easily. Okay. The Chloe, a few people are suggesting the Chloe fibre mood is a nice one shoulder one. Pattern Emporium have a one shoulder top. I think it's stretch. I have Kai scissors too, and they're always sharp. Okay, great. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Chloe is good. Another recommendation for Chloe. I lengthened it to make a dress. Lovely. Okay, the next one is I'm planning my first Friday pattern company patina. Can you suggest some fabrics? So this is it's a blouse that's got a V-neck and a nice collar. Some of the staff in the shop have made it as well. So Helen made one for the birthday event in our Be Happy Blooms viscose, and it looked really nice. So viscose print, definitely you could use. But if you're like less experienced, or it's your first one, a cotton lawn is going to be much easier to work with. So yeah, the cotton lawns that I showed at the start, they'd be nice, those dashwood ones. And then I did bring over another few different cotton lawns as well. We also have this one with a white coloured background too. This is the Painted Blossom on Navy Pima cotton lawn. And then this one's really nice too, lots of nice bluey tones in that one. That is the Lily Pad Floral Lagoon. Or any of the Atelier Brunette viscoses would be nice as well. This one would be lovely for it too, I think. This is the Lucy Ochre viscose crepe fabric, so it's going to be like a little bit more drapey. Obviously the cotton lawn's going to be a bit more crisp and hold its shape, but it is easier to work with. I did buttonholes on my fringe and I just pull it on. Okie doke. Alright, so the next one was fabrics for the new Sofia pattern by Sew Over It. So this is a really lovely sundress that they've brought out. So as I was saying in the beginning, that new one with the stripe would be nice. Also comes in a red as well. We do also have this cotton linen in quite a few different colours, and we also have it in a pinstripe as well. So I think that would be nice to really show off the stripes. Or if you wanted just something that had more of an all over print, then any of the cotton lawns would be nice as well. So yeah, when you refer to Pima as in lawn, what does it mean, please? It's just like the type of lawn. Like Liberty have Tana lawn. It's just like their own particular type of lawn. And then Pima cotton lawn is just like, it is a really nice quality of lawn. It's very soft. Some cotton lawns are usually like can be a bit nicer than others, and I guess it's just like an extra sort of description. It doesn't mean they're significantly different. I guess Pima cotton lawn is maybe just a way to compete with Tana cotton lawn from Liberty. Okay, is your dress viscose? Could look for something similar. Yes, the dress, oh my tie's coming undone. My dress is viscose, yeah. Have you got any cotton lawn to make a Lotta dress from Tilly and the Buttons? Yeah, we've got loads of really nice cotton lawn. The ones that I just showed there would be good. But yeah, if you just have a look at cotton lawn on the website as well, you'll see lots of different ones. We've got loads of Liberty ones as well. Okay, the next question was a summer dress pattern that doesn't use much fabric. I was hoping maybe you guys would be able to help me with this. Ideally 1.5 meters, in brackets, I am short. So I was thinking, really, if you want a dress out of 1.5 meters, it's going to depend on the width of the fabric and what size you're making, and hopefully you can fold it so that you can get your bodices side by side. So that, I guess if it was like a front and a back, you could fold it in, so you've got a fold, and then you have your bodices side by side, and then your skirts underneath. But I think it's going to have to be something that's like fairly sort of straight, really, and probably like on the shorter side as well. So yeah, I had a quick look at the patterns that we've got. The assembly line cuff dress, potentially the named Lenny, the closet core Pauline, potentially, or the green line Willow, which is just like a sort of tank top dress. But if anybody else knows any summery dress patterns that they've managed to squeeze out of 1.5 meters, please do share. Ogden cami dress using a different fabric for facing. Yeah, that's a good idea. You just lengthen the Ogden cami into a dress. The camber dress, that's a Merchant and Mills one. Stevie by Tilly and the Buttons, yeah. Saltwater slip, lovely. The Stevie doesn't use much fabric. That's great. Thanks everyone. So good few suggestions there. Merchant and Mills have a shift dress. Yeah, I think that's the camber one. So dress or as long as wide enough for the skirt is 1.5 meters. and then you need to do half of something tawn line. Okay, I think there's maybe a typo there. Camber dress, saltwater slip, Alton cami hack for a dress, Stevie as well, fan patterns Lola, would the painted blossom on white Prima cotton lawn fabric be okay for wide loose trousers? No, I think it's too see-through, sorry. I think they would feel more like pyjamas. Reynolds dress from Helen's Closet, a Sovra ultimate shift dress. Lovely, lots of suggestions. I knew you would help me out with that one. Okay, the next question was, other than polyester, what are some fabrics suitable for formal wear in the office? So I was thinking that this one here would be good. It does have polyester in it, but it does also have bamboo as well. It's the silver grey bamboo blended twill fabric. It's 49 bamboo and 49 recycled polyester and 2% spandex, and it comes in lots of nice colours, and it is really good, would be really good for a nice pair of smart trousers, or you could use it for a dress as well, and I think it looks really sort of smart and formal. So yeah, definitely that came to mind. The next one was jersey recommendations for the Tammy handmade Naya t-shirt. This is quite a loose fitting one that had grown on sleeves, so that jersey interlock that's 100% cotton that I was showing you earlier, that would be good for that. Or you could also just use the regular cotton jersey. So we do a range of like organic basic cotton jersey, lots of different colours. This is the off-white, it's $14.40 a metre, and it's 95 cotton, 5% elastane, so that would work. And then we've also got a range of tencel jerseys which are a bit more floppy, so this is going to kind of drape and kind of hang a little bit more. The cotton ones tend to hold their shape. You see this is quite floppy. So this particular one's the cornflower tencel modal, $17.20. Very, very soft and silky, and yeah, just more floppy, so like slightly different look on that one. And then we do also have the bamboo t-shirt jersey as well. So this is the deep lake bamboo jersey fabric. It's 68 bamboo, 28 cotton and 4 elastane, and it comes in lots of colours too. So this would be another nice option as well. So lots of different jerseys. It looks like a nice classic t-shirt pattern to have. Okay, the next one was, would the saguaro shorts be okay in Liberty cupro fabric? Would I need to line them? I haven't actually ever seen Liberty cupro, so I don't totally know like how see-through that would be. If you were meaning Liberty Tanalon, I feel like if you were making saguaro shorts, they might feel a bit pajama-y if you made them in that, in Liberty Cotton Lawn. But I don't know, maybe I've not felt or seen Liberty Cupro before, so I don't know, it might maybe be a little bit thicker. So yeah, if you want to send me a picture of it, I'm happy to take a look. Okay, fabrics for looser fitting shorts such as the Bara Studio Alva or the Tessuti Bailey shorts. So these were just sort of like kind of loose fitting gathered waist shorts. Lots of different options here. And for more detailed information on all of them, you can look at the blog post and the video that I did that is about sewing summer trousers. So you can see that on the blog, on the website as well. And I talk about lots of really nice fabrics for making summer trousers there, and they would all be applicable for shorts as well. But there's lots of options. There's the Serona linen, which is really nice and nice, lightweight. It's got a little bit of natural stretch in it as well. There's the enzyme linen, which is a bit more structured, so it would sort of hold the fullness and shape a little bit more. There's the viscose linen, which is much more kind of floppy. It's got quite a high content of viscose, so it'll sort of drape and swish around a little bit more. And then I do have a couple of sort of heavier weight viscose stretch fabrics, which look a little bit linen-y because they've got a sort of slubbed texture to them, but I think they would look really cool for shorts as well. This is the Exotic Florals Stretch Viscose Fabric, and have I got a tag on that one? No. Sorry about that. I think I did that last week as well. They came in at the same time, so I think they'll be linked together. But yeah, I think they would make really nice pattern shorts as well. So a few lovely options there. I'm just about to cut out the Arlette out of the print kit. I can't work out if there's a right or wrong direction. Does it matter? No, I don't think it does. I would just be consistent with whatever one it is you choose. It's quite opaque, the cupro. Yeah, I think you probably should be fine then. So ladies vintage do a blitz dress that doesn't use much fabric. I think it's around 2.5 though. Okay. Can you make the Megan Nielsen Flint shorts in the Serona linen then? Yeah, that would be nice. I think that would look good. Okay, the next one was, I like a camp style collar top / relaxed fit with a PJs feel. Could you recommend patterns and fabric? So the Helen's Closet Gilbert would probably be my top recommendation there. But I've got a feeling that Sew Over It might have a shirt that is similar to that as well. Cotton gauze is going to look nice. This particular one here is the aqua cotton double gauze, but we have got other nice plain colours of double gauze. This one would also be really nice as well. It's going to be like a little bit more crisp and sort of hold its shape a little bit more. This one is the Vintage Blossom textured cotton fabric. So it's a little bit like the Rami fabric, if you know that one, but it's just lighter in weight, so it's got quite a natural sort of slubby texture. But yeah, that would be nice and easy to work with, look really nice and crisp in the Gilbert. I need to make some shorts as I prefer ones like a capri trousers. Dony shirt fits the bill too. Yep, please could you show the drape of the Atelier Brunette viscose modal stripe fabric? It's not really near me right now. But I can add it to my list for next week. It is really nice and drapey though. It's very soft. I do really like that one. Can you recommend a stretch PJ bottom pattern with a yoga waistband? Not off the top of my head. If anybody else knows, please share. I'm wondering if is it the Soul Liberated Ariante pants maybe? Take a look at them. So over at Libby Top, yeah, that's the one that's quite similar to the Gilbert. How do you lay out a bias skirt pattern ready for cutting? Are they both cut with the right side facing you? Yeah. If this is the selvage of your fabric here, you need to fold it at 45 degrees like that to create a fold, and then that's your fold if you're cutting pieces out in the fold. Or that becomes your grain line then to cut the pieces out on the bias. Are you open on Saturday, and is there somewhere nearby for lunch? Not sewing but moving uni daughter, so hoping to combine a quick visit. Yes, we are open Saturday from 10 till 5, and there's lots of nice places nearby in Moseley to eat lunch. The closest probably being Damascena, which has got really nice food. So yes and yes to that. Okay, the next one was, do you have any fabric suggestions for the Sew House 7 tea house top and dress, please? So I was thinking that the linens that I showed before would all be nice. The Serona linen, the viscose linen, the enzyme linen. The other one that I thought would be nice as well is we've recently restocked on these. These are all 100% cotton. And it is the Seven Berry speckled cross hatch on indigo cotton fabric. So it's got this really nice pattern on it, but it's like a similar base, same base cloth, same colorway, but just like a different types of patterns on them. They're really nice. It's nice if you want a pattern that's not a floral. So they're quite sort of abstracty, but yeah, they're really nice. Okay, Wendy Ward books have patterns with stretch waistbands, trousers and skirts. Okay, so worth a look there at the Wendy Ward books. Okay, then the last few that I had here are, I live in leggings and t-shirts as I work from home. Any suggestions for t-shirt patterns and fabrics? I've tried Tilly and the Button Agnes but found it very small fitting. I must try in a bigger size. I'm big in the bust, so I suit scoop and v-necks. I did like the style and fit of your top last week. Didn't you say it was the Forget Me Not Lola? Yeah, that's right. It was the Forget Me Not Lola that I was wearing the other week. So if it's t-shirt patterns that are like out of stretchy fabric, the one that somebody was asked me about earlier would be a nice one that's looser fitting, the Tammy handmade Naya t-shirt. I've not made it, but yeah, someone asked about it. The Dawson's quite fitted as well, but definitely you can size up. I've actually used the Agnes pattern to make some pajamas before, and I sized up, just because for pajamas it's nicer to have something that's a bit looser. So sizing up on the Agnes will work if you just want to reuse that pattern. But other ones that are looser fit, the Closet Core Tee, which is a free pattern, that's looser fit. The Sew House 7 Tabor is nice as well. That's got a sort of drop shoulder and then quite a wide v-neck band, so you might like that if you like a v-neck. And then the Sew Liberated Bedrock Tee is another one that's got quite a lot of different options, and it generally comes up looser fitting as well. what fabric would you recommend for the dress version of the Anna Allen Anthea, please? I think with the Allen Anna Anthea, because it's got really full sleeves, the sleeves are very gathered, it depends on whether you want a fabric that is going to hold that shape full, or you want something that's going to drape and kind of flop and sort of move around a little bit more. So if you want something that's going to hold the kind of, you know, real like statement puff sleeve, go for something that's got a bit more structure, like a cotton linen, the enzyme linen, or what else has got a bit more structure? A cotton lawn to a certain extent. Whereas if you want something to be quite floppy, go for something that's viscose or a viscose mix. The Rio Ringer curve is a lovely fit. Good to know. Union Street tee is good for a fuller bust. It has an FBA option and also a couple of different necklines, easy in the body but slim in the sleeve. So that's the Union Street tee. Stretch fabric t-shirt, Lola by Ikati is really nice, and in a viscose jersey, quite loose. Great suggestions, thank you very much everyone. Okay, the next one was any fabric ideas for the fibre mood Kamala dress. I'm going to a Sex and the City party. That sounds amazing. So fancy something with gold or a sparkle stripe. Any ideas? So this is like a kind of wrap dress, but it almost looks quite full, like some sort of pleats, like quite a lot of fabric at the front. So I was thinking, I brought a couple of different viscoses over for that. Sorry, I don't have anything gold or sparkly that I feel like would be in the right weight, but I thought this would be really nice to make a statement because the colours are just really lovely and bright, and I think that would look really nice. So this is the Fabric Godmother Celine viscose crepe. So I think that would definitely be very striking. And then the other one, which would maybe look a little bit more toned down but very sophisticated, and very fancy, would be using this one, which is a viscose. It's like a viscose sateen, so it's almost got like a sort of shiny silky surface to it. It would feel very luxurious. We do have this in a yellow and the lilac as well. It's the Cheating Heart and Rose viscose sateen fabric, and it's really nice. I've got a blouse in this and I love it. It's very silky and very nice. So that was my suggestions there. And then the last question that I've got, so if anybody does have any other questions before I sign off for the night, ask them now. Okay, which fabric would you recommend for the Lara loungewear set? I'd like a plain colour, no pattern, maybe a ribbed knit. So it's just like quite a loose shorts and quite a big oversized sort of baggy t-shirt. So quite often rib knits that I feel like are in the right sort of weight for that tend to come quite narrow, but we do have some of the organic ribbed fabric that went with our Chica Cheetah French terry that we had for a birthday event. We've got it in 3 colours, so we've got it in a sort of like a navy, purpley kind of blue, a light pink, and then this really nice sky blue colour. It's organic, it's a 2x2 rib, and it's wide. It's unusually wide for a rib fabric, so I think it would work well for actually making garments out of it as well. So yeah, that would be my suggestion there if you wanted a plain rib knit, and it would be nice and breathable as well because it's organic cotton. It's not got any synthetics in it. Okay, Sewing Society hint, did I miss it? No, I've not actually said any this week, but I shared a little picture and some clues in the mid-month newsletter last week. So if you missed that, I was basically saying that both of them involve buttons, but one of them doesn't have to have buttons, and they could definitely be worn together if you wanted to, and one of them could be worn or on its own, or you could layer it up quite nicely. It looks nice, sort of styled, layered up, which you'll see in the photos. But yeah, I both really love them. They're really nice. I've been wearing them. I don't know, I have this like weird thing where I don't normally wear the kits until they're released. I mean, I don't actually think I know what's going to happen if I do. I just have this thing that I don't wear them. It's almost like I don't want them to be out in the wild before you guys can get them. But I did actually wear one of the samples at the weekend because it was very hot. If that's another clue there, then there you go. But yeah, I'm excited. when is it? Is it a week on Wednesday? Yeah, lost track of the days. So yeah. But thanks so much for watching, everyone, and listening to my croaky voice for another week. Hopefully next week I will actually be talking normally again. And yeah, this week coming, it should, all being well, should be a new fabrics video roundup from all the new fabrics that have come into the shop during June. So that'll be on my YouTube channel, and I'll send out a little newsletter for that as well. More new fabrics coming online this week, all of those really lovely ex-designer ones that we've had in. Oh my goodness, they're so nice. I literally have been like dreaming of what I want to make with one of them already. It's so nice, you're gonna love it. So yeah, keep an eye on the just arrived section during the week if you want to get in there, because you know how sometimes things can sell out quickly. But thank you for your thanks, everyone, and your well wishes. I do also hope that I feel better soon, because it's getting pretty annoying now. I would love to just be able to talk normally, but anyway, I'll continue drinking my ginger and lemon and honey tea and hope that I feel better soon. I just need to like not talk, but it's just like impossible. Why not? Because I've got 2 kids, and yeah, I'm running a business, so not talking is very difficult. But I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone, and that you have a really lovely week, and that'll be with you next week. Back to normal again. So see you soon, everyone. Bye.